So this is the all-new and completely redesigned Infiniti QX60, Infiniti's first three-row SUV, which technically has been around for some time now. That said, from an exterior standpoint, the body lines and finish look more premium. The LED lights up front and in the back are more sleek, and Infiniti offers a choice between 18-inch or 20-inch wheels, depending on your trim level. But the big news for this year is that Infiniti has finally ditched the CVT transmission and opted for a 3.5-liter V6 direct injection motor matted to a 9-speed automatic transmission, which is producing 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. And you'll have a few different options between driving modes. So you have eco, auto, personal, snow, and sport with paddle shifters. I speak more about the engine during my test drive, so keep watching because it has been improved, but there's still a few more things to work out. Now, this review is all about the comfort and how the QX60 will fit into your lifestyle. But of course, with more people on the road these days, driver-assisted technology is usually top of mind when it comes to active families who are in the market for a premium SUV. So first, I'll go through driver tech and then go row by row to show you the comfort and convenience, because there's a lot. So again, this is the Sensory trim, and the driver-assisted technology, which is standard, includes LED adaptive lighting up front, a remote starter located on your key fob, which will allow the driver to preheat or cool his or her cabin in advance, Infiniti's Pro Pilot Assist with NaviLink, which supports automatic vehicle speed changes. And then there's more than a few common driver-assisted features like predictive forward collision warning, forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, a rear view camera with moving object detection is pretty cool, cross traffic alert, and a rear automatic brake, just to name a few. But one of my favorite features is also included. Your rear view mirror also flips to illustrate a wider angle back there, which is very handy in general, but especially when you're towing a boat or small trailer. So like I said, I'm going to take you row by row because there's so much comfort and convenience, and I will definitely show you that trunk space because Infiniti did a really good job with the convenience. But first, if you have an active family, like I said, or if you're just a busy mom and dad and you have to carry a lot of items, you're going to love this storage. So first, both side doors, huge, long, deep, everything you need. And because the center stack here has been simplified, you have a huge space for storage beneath here. And then your glove box and your center console, again, so big. Okay, huge. I don't know how many times I'm going to say big or huge or convenience today, but that's the theme of this premium SUV. So this is really impressive. The only thing I think is missing, and I'm being picky, is a small cooling area. That's how impressive this space is. Now, these seats are leather. They offer heating and ventilation, but when you opt for the Sensory trim and Autograph, you also receive massage comfort, and it's really nice. If you want to control all your heating in your ventilation for your steering wheel or for your seats, it's all done up here. It's just touch, and it's really easy to do. Connectivity, it's going to be impressive throughout. I will speak about connectivity a lot, but in front of your mobile wireless charging port, you receive a USB-C and a USB port. Okay, I will speak more about your infotainment system a little bit later, but Android Auto, Apple CarPlay is standard. Apple CarPlay is actually wireless. If you're looking for more connectivity, you will find it inside your front center console. You're offered a USB port and a 12-volt port. As for that second row, personally, I always prefer a large panoramic sunroof in my SUVs, and I wouldn't necessarily say that the sunroof offered in the QX60 is large because it doesn't extend all the way to the third row. But that's not a bad thing. If you're traveling with small kids or adult guests who are trying to sleep, work, or watch their tablet, it stops pretty much in the middle of the second row. And I also like the fact that Infiniti allows you to control the exposure rate of sun back here, so that's super convenient. If you're also looking for more shade, well then in the Sensory trim and above, you also receive side shades, so that's really, really good. Now back to storage. Again, amazing. On the side doors you can fit cups, bottles, snacks, whatever. You receive 2 large pockets behind both front seats, and of course when nobody's sitting in the middle, you can take advantage of your 2 traditional cup or bottle holders. Now again, in the Sensory trim and above, this second row is heated, but only the outboard seats are actually heated. You can control all of that by using your climate control panel here, and this is where it gets good again with the connectivity. 1 USB-C port, 1 USB charging port, and then my favorite, a traditional 3-prong outlet. Now you're probably wondering how space is, and if you're familiar with my channel, you know I'm only 5'3", so I never complain about leg or head space, but trust me when I say, even if you're 6'2", 6'3", I am confident you're still gonna receive a few more inches. Now, as for that third row, now you just heard me say that I'm 5'3", so I never complain about leg space when it comes to second row. I also don't really complain when it comes to the third row. You also heard me mention that if you're upwards of 6'2", you'll also be quite comfortable in that second row. But if you are 6'2" and you're trying for whatever reason to fit in this third row, you have to move that second row seat forward, okay? So that whole bench moves forward. If you're opting for the autograph trim, then you receive captain's chairs, and you only fit 6 passengers as opposed to 7, and then the individual sitting back here can extend their leg, right? But of course, someone who is 6'2" or even a taller adult isn't going to sit back here. This is reserved for kids. And even if you saw my Mitsubishi Outlander video that I filmed with my brother, you saw that the kids fit fine back here. And yeah, I mean, I receive a couple more inches, but again, I'm cheating because the second row bench is pushed forward. But what I love is the continued theme of storage and convenience. So on each side you have 2 cup or bottle holders, and then also on both sides you receive 2 USB ports for charging. So 1 on each side, 2 in total. I also like the fact that you or your guest can store your mobile or tablet down here, and it has its own individual space. So that's really, really good. Also, you can kind of hang out because these seats have a really nice recline. And if you're looking to get out, again, convenience, the theme of the video. If you're trying to get out with ease, there is a convenience button located back here. You just give it a push and it moves for you. The QX60 offers some really impressive towing numbers. So first, with the Sensory trim and the autograph trim, because it's properly equipped with the towing package, you can tow up to 6,000 pounds. And then payload capacity, this includes what you can store on top and inside. You have a payload capacity of just over 1,100 pounds. But back to the convenience, because this is what I love. In the Sensory trim and autograph trims, you automatically receive a motion activated power lift gate, but there's a trick. With your key fob in your pocket purse or hand, you have to aim completely down the center. You can't kick on either side, it's not gonna work for you, right? Have a watch, kick, opens. Again, love the convenience. This power lift gate is also adjustable in height. Just hold this button right here, wait for the beeps, and it automatically sets for you. And then with the Sensory trim, the second row seats and the third row seats fold in a 60-40 way. So to put down this third row, just pull on these cables to lower the headrest. Right? Use this handle right here, give it a push down, and it automatically folds down, right? To put the seats back up, you have two options. Just use the handle, pull, or I should say cable really, just pull, and then you can lift it up, or convenience, just use the buttons over here on the left hand side, and then it's power operated. I love it. And then back here, I'm not done with the convenience, you have some hooks, right? And then you also have a 12-volt port, okay? If you're looking for more storage, this is great. It's found underneath the floor, and this is also where you'll find your tire mobility kit. Just a few more features before we hit the road, because I've already pretty much covered all of the convenience, but reminder, these seats are power operated. The steering wheel is also power operated and telescopic, of course. Heated, ventilated, your steering wheel is also heated, again sensory trim, and above that is all standard, and just use your climate panel, simple to do. Steering wheel looks really good. Also easy, very simply laid out. On the left hand side, this is where you'll find your audio buttons for your Bose Performance Series audio sound system, which is amazing. It's really, really good. You also have a button there for your digital driver cluster. It's fully digital and you can customize it. Also with the sensory trim, you have the heads up display. If you don't like the heads up display because you find all the information redundant, just move it out of your line of sight. That's what I've been doing, because again, the digital driver cluster is really, really well done. On the right hand side, this is where you'll find your adaptive cruise control settings, essentially your Pro Pilot Assist. You have your voice commands and your Bluetooth, but this infotainment system, I absolutely love it. So first, if you want to minimize fingerprints, just use your dial knob because it's also connected. This dial knob, it dials, okay, left and right, but you could also move it left and right and slide it forwards and backwards, and then of course just push the center whenever you want to activate a feature. I'm super slow using it, so I just prefer using the touch screen, which is also a slide through. The feature you're going to want to pay attention to is the info. This is great. Remember, this is a premium SUV, so if you have a family, you're gonna love the feature that says SXM movie listings. If you want to take the kids out, or if you have a date night, you could actually look at movie listings for movie theaters which are close to you. So super convenient. I love it. And then premium SUV, premium fuel. So SXM fuel prices, you can check for local gas prices near you. And then finally, this is amazing. I've never seen this before, but if you are a sports lover, you'll be able to actually check the stats of what happened for your favorite team. That's awesome. Okay, one last feature before we hit the road. I've already mentioned your driving modes. You can change all of those on the fly, but just use this toggle handle down here. And again, you'll be able to change all of your driving modes on the fly. That said, let's hit the road so I can provide you with my final impressions from this past week. And I'm going to get right into the biggest update, and that's this engine. Right, gone is that CVT transmission, which is just terrible, and now it's definitely been improved. But have a listen. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but it takes a second for it to read what gear it's supposed to be in, and then it goes. I find that if you use the paddle shifters, it transitions itself much smoother through the gears. So that's just my suggestion. If you're comfortable with paddle shifters, 100% take advantage of it. Besides that, amazing, and like I said, so much more improved and better than that CVT. But let's talk about the drive, okay, because this is a premium SUV. It's a little bit larger. I also have the larger 20-inch wheels, so it is a little bit stiffer of a ride, right? If you want to smooth it out, I mean, use the 18-inch, right? It's as simple as that. Also, you have so many different driving modes to choose from too, so that will definitely help out. And the only time you really feel all of that body roll is if you know, throttle mash the gas and you're using an on and off ramp, and you're gonna feel all that body roll. The rest of the time, it's a smooth operator. It's pretty good. I also like how quiet it is in here, so that's really nice too. And visibility out this huge front windshield is really good. That aside, you do have a small blind spot out that third window. The only time you have a blind spot though is when those second row bench seats are pushed forward. I would have to assume that the same is going to be true if you go with the autograph trim and with those captain's chairs, right? So just be aware, and you know, like I've mentioned, you have blind spot monitoring too, so take advantage of that. If you don't like all your driver assisted technology, just use the button on the left hand side that I mentioned previously. It's the same button that you use to activate or deactivate your heads up display. Just scroll through it. You can deactivate your driver assisted tech, especially because this might annoy you, if you can hear, right? Can you hear that? So every time you get close to a white line, it will rattle. Your steering wheel rattles, but it also makes a vibration noise, and it's super loud. So again, if you don't like that stuff, just you know, turn it off. Besides that, yeah, overall comfort has been so good all week long. I've mentioned so many convenient features. Take advantage of all that connectivity, these great seats, and guys, this Bose audio sound system is really, really amazing. But what I like to do in all my videos is recommend a test drive, because test drives are complimentary. So look down in the description. I make your buying process easier for you. I provide you with all the links and different options. But for now, I'm Juliana, your automotive woman. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss How To Tuesday or Feature Car Friday. Thanks for watching, guys.